It's the final battle for control in Libya. 6 months after the uprising began, there's almost a victory.
Gaddafi must stop fighting without conditions.
Her name is Irene, the first hurricane this year, where the storm is hitting and taking aim. Looking for rich singles? Head west, young men and women. Which city has the most to choose from? INN News begins right now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Mickle. Welcome to INN News. The 42-year rule of Muammar Gaddafi appears to be on the verge of collapse. Rebel forces say they now control most neighborhoods in Libya's capital of Tripoli. As the sun came up this morning, people took to the streets waving flags and celebrating. Rebels say they're also holding 3 of Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi's sons. He's believed to be in hiding. The next step, getting Gaddafi to surrender.
Gaddafi must stop fighting without conditions and clearly show that he has given up any claim to control Libya. As for his future, that should be a decision for Chairman Jalil and the new Libyan authorities. The situation in Tripoli is clearly very fluid, and there is absolutely no room for complacency.
The Gaddafi regime is clearly crumbling. The sooner Gaddafi realizes that he cannot win the battle against his own people, the better, so that the Libyan people can be spared further bloodshed and suffering. The Libyan people have suffered tremendously under Gaddafi's rule for over 4 decades. Now they have a chance for a new beginning.
President Obama is calling for Gaddafi to give himself up. Now, the first hurricane of the season is now moving across the Virgin Islands. The storm is also working its way toward the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Forecasters say Irene could dump up to 20 inches of rain in those countries. The latest projections call for Irene to perhaps skirt Florida and hit South Carolina by the weekend as a Category 3 storm. Time for global news now. A rain-triggered landslide in southwestern China is blocking major highways. Firefighters are evacuating people in that area as rain continues to fall and flooding worsens. Heavy rain is expected to last 2 more days. A new witness has come forward in the disappearance of Robin Gardner, the American woman who went missing in Aruba. Companion Gary Giordano was being detained. He told police she disappeared 2 weeks ago while they were snorkeling. But now a fisherman says he saw the two walking on a jetty around the same time they were said to have been in the water, and Gardner appeared drunk. The fisherman says the two drove off in a car. Canadian authorities are trying to determine what caused a jetliner to crash, killing 12 people. The Boeing 737 plane went down near the Resolute Bay Airport near the Arctic. It's unclear what caused that plane to go down. 3 people survived the crash. 1 is in critical condition. That's your global news now. Time now for our daily check of gas prices. We're going to keep watch until they fall below $3. Today's average, according to AAA, is $3.57 per gallon. That's for regular unleaded. That's down a couple of cents from late last week. Well, it sounds like the beginning of a science fiction movie, but we are one step closer to making computers and humans work better together. Ryan Bass has that and more in tonight's Back to Business.
IBM says it's created a chip designed to imitate the behavior of the human brain's ability to understand, act, and react to its surroundings. Engineers even say the chips will develop a sense of reason and actually learn from its experiences. The chip's processor is similar to the Watson supercomputer that competed on Jeopardy earlier this year. Burger King is looking to reinvent itself, dethroning the King character and focusing more on the fresh and healthy food message. In its new ad campaign starting this weekend, the fast food chain rolled out the California Whopper, which is made with guacamole. The commercial shows only the sights and sounds of fresh ingredients being washed, sliced, and diced. Speaking of California, apparently that's where you need to go to find Mr. or Mrs. Moneybags. CNN Money says Manhattan Beach, California is the #1 spot to find that unattached rich mate. The median salary there, $154,000.
Tyson Corner, Virginia comes in second, Beverly Hills and Hermosa Beach in California, third and fourth. and Madison, New Jersey comes in 5th. Of course, when you get there, there's a lot to do for you and your date. For Back to Business, I'm Ryan Bass.
Well, as many college freshmen are moving to campus this fall, a chilling cold case is in the back of the minds of many who attend Peru State in Omaha, Nebraska. Ty Thomas disappeared in December after leaving an off-campus party. She was a freshman and still has not been found. As Kurt Casper from our affiliate KPTM reports, Thomas lives on even as students move in.
Move-in day can be a day of mixed emotions. For Tammy Aldrich, today is even more emotional.
And I've done enough two-wheeler Helios.
Her daughter Brooke Davis was in the same class as Ty Thomas, the missing college freshman.
Well, it's kind of scary, just thinking it could have been her. It could be anybody.
Davis says she's been thinking about safety all summer.
Like, oh my gosh, I never thought it would happen, and it did. So you kind of always think about it.
Davis says she plans to walk everywhere with her roommate or use the school's security escort system.
And I took that for granted last year where I would just go out in the back lot in the dark by myself, but now I always take her with me.
Yeah.
First-year students moved in on Friday, and already the word safety is stressed.
School officials that I spoke with earlier in the week say that there is always a focus on safety for the incoming freshmen.
I think it's safer, but you always have to be cautious. You can't trust everyone, so.
Delaney Young and Demi Cox just got out of a seminar learning how to stay safe on campus.
With what happened to Tyler Thomas, though, it's kind of scary, but I think that they're working really hard to make it a safe campus and make us all feel safe.
Despite the campus scare last year, most parents and students believe this small town school is safe.
I think Peru wants everyone to be safe.
Yeah, I feel safe. I think it's a really good campus.
Classes start tomorrow, a new chapter for students and for Peru State College. Kurt Casper reporting for INN News.
Dozens of dead birds and other animals are still turning up at Arrow Creek in Nevada, and their deaths are no accident. Nana Okawa from our Reno affiliate, KRXI, tells us what's killed more than 100 birds so far.
The search for dead wildlife is still on at Arrow Creek. Even after a month-long investigation, scientists are still finding dead birds and other animals every day.
Now there's probably at least 10 were not here yesterday.
Workers in the neighborhood are shocked to learn why.
I figured either they got hit by something or something's trying to eat them.
What if I told you it was poison?
That's a surprise. It makes me think that somebody's going to be going to jail.
Investigators blame someone who's spreading a rare pesticide that's very deadly to birds.
This pesticide mixed in with the bird seeds isn't even used or sold legally in the United States.
And this seems to be a well-thought-out crime.
I found it in the seeds in very high contact, so we feel the seeds were probably soaked in it.
The poisonous mixture was apparently spread on a fence behind residential homes and posing a potential risk to all kinds of animals.
One of the worst things, it's a very long-lived chemical, meaning if the bird eats it and the bird dies, anything that eats that dead or dying bird will very likely become sick or die.
The seeds are small and hard to get rid of, so wildlife experts are merely picking them up until a better solution is found. For now, they still haven't found the culprit.
We suspect that it's somebody who has some ties to the ranching industry, maybe knows a little bit about agriculture.
That suspect will face serious consequences.
This is essentially pesticide use inconsistent with pesticide labeling, which is a federal EPA violation.
Nana Okawa reporting for INN News.
Well, weather is creating some really interesting images from the skies and the ground. We're going to show you those coming up next. Plus, you're alive and well, but the government says you're not. Meet one woman who was legally dead and had to fight to prove otherwise. And the Flintstones did it. They used their feet as brakes. Remember this? But really, it's not a good idea. Just ask one guy trying to stop his truck the really, really old-fashioned way. That's next on INN.